I have been building my 350 engine for a while, and I've been also working on a small block Ford 302 engine, right? So here's a few tools that you need if you want to rebuild your own. I'm currently rebuilding this one out the door, and I got the small block Ford 302 inside the building. Just don't have the space to rebuild a 350 now, but I got to get Iron Man back on the road. So in this video, I want to show y'all what you need if you want to rebuild your own engine. Let's just get to it. God is everything. Without God, I'm nothing. All right, man, so let's just say you got a small block Ford or small block Chevy or LS or whatever Coyote. I haven't ever rebuilt a LS or rebuilt a Coyote, but I'm pretty sure a lot of these tools you're probably gonna need. So let's get started. First tools is your basic tools. Ratchets, deep sockets, short sockets, different size extensions, short extensions, long extensions, and your basic wrenches. I prefer ratchet wrenches. And before I get too far, man, let me let y'all know all of these just recommended tools that I recommend from like Amazon and different things that I've used that I can like vouch for. I will be linking it in the description down there for y'all, man. So yeah, go check them out. But anyway, the first thing you're gonna need is your basic tools. I would even recommend 3/8 drive ratchets, 1/2 inch drive ratchets, and 1/4 inch drive ratchets. And if you can afford it, I would go different length on those, long, short. Some of them have the bendable heads on them. I like those. That's 90% of the time what I use, or the bendable head ratchets. Okay, so I think that's all of your basic tools, man. Maybe your stuff like pry bars and I'm thinking that's about it for your basic tools. All right, so after you've got your basic tools, let's say you have a fully assembled engine, right? You've taken off your carburetor or your intake or whatever. Let's say you've gotten all that off. Most of this stuff can be done by your basic tools, but there's a time when you are gonna need specialty tools for certain stuff. Now, as far as the two engines that I broke down, that's a 350 small block Chevy and a 302 small block Ford. Up until I got to the harmonic balancer, I did not need anything special. Everything was just straightforward, basic sockets, basic tools. And I'm pretty sure the LS is pretty close to the same. I have installed a cam in the LS and nothing special was needed. I don't know about a Coyote. I've never died into a Coyote, but just for the people watching, I do plan on having some Coyote stuff on the channel. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So the next tool that I can think of that you're gonna need, I'm gonna try to put these things as close as I can in order. The next special tool that you're gonna need is a harmonic balancer puller, right? And there are different kinds. They have the kind that has claws on it, and they also have the kind that it's made like a star. You put the bolts in it, but they both really bolt up the same way. Some of your stuff, your harmonic balancer and your pulley can come off together, but some of your stuff you have to pull the see on this small block Chevy that I'm building right here right now. This engine I had to pull the pulley off, but the pulley just bolts up to the harmonic balancer with 3 bolts. So all I had to do was take the pulley off and then buy a tool to pull the balancer off. So let's just say, all right, so now you have got that off, your engine is completely naked, you got your timing cover, you got your cam out, you got the timing chain, all this stuff off. All right, so let's just say your timing gear, you're trying to pull that bottom timing gear off. That bottom timing gear on a small block Chevy, I can't remember for a small block Ford, but anyway, small block Chevy, it bolts to the crank, or it don't bolt to the crank, it's pressed onto the crank. So you will need a small, like the little jaws. Let me go get some of this stuff. Let me show y'all some of this stuff. All right, man, so here's one example of the harmonic balancer puller. Here's one example. This is the one with the jaws, the claws, and yeah. So that's one example. And I got the other example, but it's messed up, so can't really do much with the other example. Oh, my hat. Oh, okay, yeah, this is a PullsTv hat. You can get it right down there. So yeah, if you want one of these hats, go down there and get you one down below. But anyway, let me go grab the jaws that I'm talking about right now. All right, man, so as far as those jaws that I was just talking about, here they are right here, as you can see. And this could also probably double as a harmonic balancer puller too, if you got the kind, you know what I'm saying, if you can get around it, to put this around it and, you know, thread this up in there and let it pull it off, you can use one of these too. So yeah, so that's the next thing I can think of that you're gonna need. So next, let's just say you've pulled your crank out, you got all your bearings out, and let's say you look at your cam bearings and you say, oh man, I need to replace the cam bearings. There is a tool for your cam bearings that you can actually do this at home. Now, I will be honest with y'all, I have done cam bearings twice, and the second time I did better than the first time. The first time I bought 3 different sets of cam bearings because I kept messing them up on the way in. If you put them in cricket, or let's just say your tool doesn't grab that cam bearing good, it could slide through and all kind of stuff. I don't think the tool was the issue. I just think, you know, if you got the money, I just say take it to the machine shop, let them put your cam bearings in. That's if you need them. All right, so let's just say now you're putting the engine back together. You put new crank bearings. You need to put your crank back in. You know, torque your main bolts down. Now you're getting ready to put your not harmonic balancer. You're getting ready to put your timing thing back on. You've upgraded that. I'm hoping you've upgraded that, and you got to get that back on. All right, so now all you need is a big socket or something to put on it and tap it back on with like a heavy hammer or something. Hammer ain't got to be ridiculously heavy, but I think I got like a 5-pound hammer, man. Y'all excuse me, these mosquitoes are tearing me up out here, man. But I got to make y'all this video. I would mention a few things you will need, but you can borrow these things, but I will link y'all some if I can find some good ones on Amazon. The engine hoist and an engine stand, you will need those to, you know, really rebuild your engine. Now, I mean, honestly, you probably can get it done just with an engine hoist, but like I said, you can borrow those things, so I'm not gonna include that. But if I can find y'all one that got some good reviews on it, just know I probably haven't used it. I'm just linking it for somebody who might need it. But anyway, so let's just say all that's done. You set the engine back in, blah blah blah. I just told you putting the harmonic the bottom timing thing back on. And let's just say now you got to get your harmonic balancer thing put back on. There's a tool for that. And you need most of your tools when you put the engine back together. So just let me go grab this stuff and I'll be back. All right, man, so I'm back. Here go the other tools. Quick disclaimer though, let me spin the block real quick. This is a good tool that if you build an engine, you should get one of these. So this is a dial caliper, and what you use this for is measuring like journal sizes, different stuff like that, man, because you could have an engine that might have got some different size journals on it, and you done bought, you know what I'm saying, main caps and stuff, or main bearings that might be a different size. So this is a tool. I'm gonna link this down there, dial caliper. And while I'm there, let me go ahead and speak on it. There are a few other little small tools that you very well could need. Things like, let's say you pull your pistons out and you wanna, you know what I'm saying, they have a bore thing to check your bore, you know, all the way down in the cylinder and stuff like that. I don't own one. I just put my engine back together because it ran fine before, so I just said bump it. But anyway, The very next tool that I was gonna speak on was, I told y'all the harmonic balancer puller. There is a harmonic balancer installer, and here it is right here. This is the harmonic balancer installer, and this is how you put the harmonic balancer back on the engine right here. All right, you got that back on. Before you put your cover back on, you got to put your cam back in. And of course you can just, you know what I'm saying, oil your cam up and just slide it in. But from my experience, sometimes when you put them new cam bearings in, they can be a little tight. So what I figured out was, take your old cam, get your tool like this, or you can probably do this with some bolts or something. But I bought this little tool, it wasn't but $16. Bolt this, and you can also put a socket on there or something. Just, I mean, I'm gonna tell you what I did. Just spin the cam over, you know, Milwaukee or something, and tighten that joker down. I mean, and you know what I'm saying, it'll loosen the cam bearings up. At least from my experience, it did. But anyway, that might not be the right way. I'm not an engine builder. All right, so the next thing, or something I skipped or something, I don't know, is a torque wrench. You will need a torque wrench. If you're just building the engine, it would depend on what sockets you got, right? So let's say you only have 3/8 drive sockets. You're taking the whole engine apart with 3/8 drive sockets. Get your 3/8 drive torque wrench. Now, if you have 1/2-inch sockets, get your 1/2-inch drive. They sell adapters and all kind of other stuff that, you know, you don't have to buy the actual, you know, whole ratchet and all that stuff. They sell all that. So just decide, but you will need a torque wrench. There are torque specs for your main cap bolts and all that stuff. There's torque specs for all that stuff. So yeah, you do need a torque wrench. And man, I'm gonna be honest, I think that's about everything you need to rebuild the engine. Now, bonus clip. If you are installing an aftermarket cam and you got to do springs and all that stuff, there is a tool which it's in the house, but it's in a million pieces, y'all. I don't even want to go get it to show it to y'all. But it's a spring compressor. It compresses the springs so you can, you know, take the things out and put the new springs on. You can also find a million tutorials on YouTube on how to do all this stuff. But I'm just saying that's your bonus tool that you will need if you got to change your springs out. But everything else, that's pretty much it, man. If you're doing a simple engine build, that's all you need. There can be more tools that you can need depending on how extreme you're getting. But if you're just doing a basic build and you've ran this engine before, I say that's all you need, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in for another one, man. I just wanted to help y'all and give y'all some tips and tricks in here, man. Because this is some stuff that I just been buying along the way. Versus if I had a list like I just gave y'all, I could have just bought all this stuff and had it. PullsTv, gone.